Yes, indeed, and a very good morning. Welcome to Sports Checks this lovely Monday morning. I'm Bernardo Kumu. A whole lot of events that we have planned for you. In the first hour, we'll be speaking to the Tong modo national team, as well as the Nairobi Central Tong modo club, who are already in the studio. And later on, we'll be speaking to the Secretary General of the Kenya Lawn Tennis Association. That's Wanjiro Mbogo Karani, later on via Zoom. And also, we'll be looking at the forthcoming, that's in November, the Jubilee Live Free Cycling Race, the cycling championship that is expected to attract over 2,000 participants. All and that much more, of course, we'll also be having our tabs on to what's happening in the local affair, the current affairs. Welcome, I'm Bernardo Kumu, and straight to our interview. I have Willis Ogalo and Wallace Mbadi, and Willis Ogalo is the instructor on my immediate left, our instructor for the national team, as well as the Nairobi Tong modo Central Club, and Wallace Mbadi is the assistant coach at the same club. Karibuni sana, Willis and Wallace.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, Willis, beginning with this particular sport, Tong modo, you know, it's not so long ago that it got catch up in the country, but how has it been for the championship, for the game, the sport in the country?
Okay, the Tong modo have been here for long, and currently is so wide in the country, all over the country. So it's a good tournament, it's a good federation, and it's all over the country. Mm-hmm. So it's growing. We have a junior team, we have senior team, we have ladies. So Tong modo is growing. Mm-hmm. It's growing all over the country. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. And Wallace, how has it been for you as the assistant coach of the national team?
I'm not the assistant coach for the national team,
but the club, yes.
The club. Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, it's been exciting, and now we are seeing young people coming in, joining the game, because it's interesting. It is giving people, the students, a lot of discipline, mm-hmm. and you know, in the current world, so many bad things happening, so we have to shape the young ones. Mm-hmm. So that is what attracted me more to the sport. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe coach, instructor, we're talking about Tong modo, just like it is for many of the martial arts. How do you entrench the philosophical beliefs and religious beliefs into the players? How is it important for them to know that?
Tong modo is quite different with other arts, because we dwell much also the internal part of it, that's the theory part of it. So as a martial artist, the first step is discipline, and we must instill discipline on the student. That's one. Secondly, the technique will come. So the first step is discipline, and also the internal part of it. We normally emphasize on the internal. You have to be very strong internally, so that you can control the techniques you learn, because the technique you learn are very dangerous techniques. You can break somebody, you can even kill if you feel like. So they are very dangerous. So you have to be very strong internally for you to control the techniques we are training the students. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. And Wallace, how did you internalize that you don't have to, you know, be extreme with your sports? How do you control yourself not to, you know, go over and beyond, but keep within the roots of the game?
Well, I believe we are, number one, we are spirits, but with a body. So we have to work on our spiritual part. Then we work on the physical part. So I have an obligation to use whatever I have, either positively or negatively. So working on the spiritual part, it means that I will focus more on the positive than the negative. Mm-hmm. So that is why we insist on first working on the character development first. Mm-hmm. Then we come to do the punching and the kicking mm-hmm. stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, and what categories are there for Tong modo? And maybe we can switch over and go to look at the players, Teddy, Matthias, David, Boniface, and Stella Auchat, who are on the other side of the studio, and they are doing the demonstrations, right? So maybe you can just explain as they go through the paces, what exactly what it is. Yeah.
I didn't get that. But basically, we start doing the physical part. That is what they are doing. We do the warm up.
Yes, go on.
So,
His name. The guy speaking.
Teddy.
That's the basic.
And Teddy, maybe you can tell us what the young exponent is demonstrating.
First basic form that you need to use when you're demonstrating, when you're going to grade to a higher belt. So these are just punches and kicks, ways of defending each other. Baro. This is just a way of defending each other. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And maybe what are some of the skills that you teach you carry out as the introduction part of the sport?
Okay. The introduction part of the sport is, first of all, you have to gauge your physical fitness, the level of your fitness. So once you come in, we'll stretch you a bit and gauge your fitness level. Then we start with the basics. Maybe we teach you breathing techniques. We teach you basic punches. We teach you basic kicks. Then as you progress, now we go deeper into stuff like hand locks. We go to throws. This is actually just a combination of various sports. So you'll find judo is inside, jiu-jitsu is inside, you'll find karate is inside and taekwondo is inside. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And what makes one a better player? What makes one a good Tong modo player?
Endurance, resilience, discipline. You just have to keep on doing it and be willing to do it. Have that heart to do it.
Mm-hmm. And maybe to the end, maybe the players, sometimes it gets tougher for them. How do you lift them up when maybe the going is getting tough?
Okay, actually people view martial arts as a way of hurting each other. It's not. It's quite exactly the opposite. In martial arts, once you join, many people join martial arts because they want to beat other people up. So you realize if you come with the wrong intentions, then maybe you lose hope halfway through the training. But if you had the heart of training for reasons that are supposed to be, then maybe you'll stick there. It becomes enjoyable once you realize what you're doing. You don't really have to get encouragement from people. But once you're training together, then it's enjoyable. It's not a fight anymore. It's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And with the young ones like Bessie Buto, in the team, what does it say about the future of the sport and as well as the popularity of the same?
Okay, it's very encouraging to see the young people coming and joining the sports. The sports actually is a disciplined sport, and if you gauge the discipline levels of those who are training martial arts, the kids, and those who are not, you'll realize there's a big difference there. So I think it's very encouraging, and I'd like to encourage many people to bring their kids in. It helps health-wise, it helps physically. Bessie Buto is very young, but she knows how to defend herself now.
Does it take long for them to realize that? Does it take long for them to enjoy the benefits of the sport?
Actually, it depends actually on her drive to push herself. But it doesn't really take long. At the beginning, it will be a bit difficult for her, for him, the kids. But once they get in there, then it's enjoyable and you don't even realize how you're improving. It's really, really fast.
Yes, and of course that's Teddy Owino, the instructor as well from Nairobi Central Club, the Tong modo club, who is leading us on the other side of the demonstrations. And of course, just to introduce you to the players who are on the who are with Teddy, Matthias Baraka, David Juma, Boniface Mwaniki, as well as Stella Auchate, and the young one is KBC Buto. Back to Willis and Wallace here. Willis, so what's lying next? You know, the Mombasa Open International Tournament is one of the biggest events of the sport in the continent, if not in the world.
Yes. Yes, we are approaching Mombasa in the Open International Tournament. That will be on 15th of December up to 17th. But before we reach into Mombasa International Tournament, we have a regional tournament, which we had the first one in July. That's Nairobi Open. That one for selection. And then next month also on 25th, we are going to have another one to select Nairobi region to form the national team. So thus, we are preparing. Already the team is on the camp. We are training for the international event. Before that also we have a regional, which also we are working on. We are working on the tournament. That's next month on 25th November. So before we go to the international, we must have a regional. And then those will qualify, those will be in the first position, now can form the national team. Yes.
How competitive is it for the players to earn their slots in the national team?
It's very competitive because everybody is aiming to be in the national team and also to compete international level. So the regional is more tougher than the international one because for you to be in the national team, you have to work extra hard to earn that position. So as a Nairobi region, we did the first one in July. We are going for the last selection in 25th. So it's everybody's working hard to be in the national team to represent the country. Yes.
Wallace, those who make the team, what must they possess? Those who make the cut, those who get picked to the team, what must they possess?
Our instructors normally check the hard work that you've been putting, especially during trainings, the consistency of your training, and you see, competing with countries like Philippines and such, we know that the stakes are very high. The competition is very tough, but I'm happy being privileged to take part or being part of that team last year. And well, it's tough, so you have to put in long hours, sweat, for you to get to that high level. Yes.
And maybe going by last year's championship, the Mombasa Open, right? What kind of expectation or hopes does it give you this year? What kind of changes must happen to the team and to those who will be selected?
I'll speak maybe as a player.
Yes.
And I know it will be tougher, of course, than the previous event. So as players, we are putting in a lot of effort, a lot of training. Yes.
Why are you looking forward to improving your performance? To what you achieved last year, to what the last tournament?
Definitely, I'm looking forward to improving on what I gained last year. So I'm working harder.
Yes. How was it, and what? I mean, maybe you can talk about what you achieved, your ranking at that particular tournament, and the nitty-gritties that you must work on now.
Well, last year I participated in the senior men advanced level, and in the fighting category I emerged position 1. Well, coming to position 1 is maybe it's not easy, but now maintaining is the harder part. So I'm working hard on that to see that this year, when I get that opportunity, I'll make sure the Kenyan flag must fly high. Yes.
And maybe, Willis, you can talk about the steps that Nairobi Central Tong Modo Club has taken to grow the sport.
Well, it has been a long journey and also tough. But so far, I thank my fellow instructor, Master Tom, and our assistants, Wallace, and also the captain. For us to prepare as a Nairobi Central team, we have Saturday training, which we normally start as very early as 6:30 in the morning up to 11. That's Saturday. We have also evening classes on Tuesday and Thursdays. And also we are also improving on skills. Compared to what we did last year, we had a team from Nairobi Central. We joined the national team. So we saw their performance. And so we are working on the technical part of it, being in the technical team, both in the national team and also the Nairobi Central. So we are working much on the technical team so that this year we see a lot of improvement technically and also mentally. Martial arts is mentally and maybe physically. So there must be a flow between mind and body. Mm-hmm. So you have to be mentally strong for you to face the opponent. Otherwise, if you are mentally weak and you have the skills, you can't even apply the techniques you have. So we are working on both mentally and physically. Mm-hmm. That's what we are working on at the moment. So far, so good. Team is ready. And we're just waiting for a selection in the Nairobi region. And hopefully we'll join the national team. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And many of those in Tong modo didn't really start with Tong modo. They picked it up along the way.
Yes, we had Tong modo is a unified martial arts. Mm-hmm. So whether you have done taekwondo, you have done karate, and you joined the Tong modo, you can just fix to yourself and match with the team. The only problem, the only difference with us, maybe the taekwondo and karate people, we have the locks, we have the ground fight. So we have the takedown. Mm-hmm. So also that one you have to learn. You have to learn how to fall. You have to learn also how to grab. For us, those are our points. So that's the technical part of it. So those maybe you have joined in the middle. We are trying to at least put them in almost the same level with those who have been there and those who have stayed there, to learn the locks, to learn the ground fight, and also to learn the high kicks, because for the tournament, you must do the high kicks, the high techniques for you to score more points. So that's what we are working on technically. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And maybe Teddy did speak about the initial steps that those who are getting introduced to the sport go through. Maybe you can as well just take us through the paces of what it makes for the young ones to go through, to pick up the sport and enjoy it. How do you make the young ones, or those who want to join the sport, love it and get in it?
Yes, Tong modo, as we said, is a unified martial arts. So they enjoy it. And first and foremost, we talk of the discipline of the art and also the theory part of it. For the young ones, I do train most schools, and one of them being Thomas Bach. And also due to the concentration, that's the theory part of it. The performance of the student or the pupils improve, the discipline part of it. So that one also I've encouraged most of the parents to at least to enroll, because of the performance of their children in school, and also the discipline, concentration, we talk of the teamwork. So that one will help the child and also become a responsible person maybe in future. So we talk of a responsibility. So we just instill the discipline, all those aspects of discipline, responsibility, concentration, teamwork. We start them at that early age. When he grows up, be a very responsible person, he'll be a disciplined person, and that teamwork, he'll be working everywhere, he's a very flexible person and also disciplined. And foremost, the discipline. We don't execute our techniques aimlessly. We control, we have that capability of controlling our techniques. We can't just kick aimlessly, no. Mm-hmm. So that will also help the kids also in school, in classwork, wherever they are. So it helps a lot. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, and Wallace, maybe speak about the quality of the players that Kenya has fielded in the international championships, right? For instance, at the Mombasa Open. Well, I mean, you topped in your category, but would you say that the rest of the Kenyan players are up to the par? What would you say about the quality of those who get the chance to represent the country?
Well, my fellow practitioners of Tong modo, they are very skilled, and I would say that for the past 10 years that we've been having the tournament around, they've been performing very well. Actually, we've always emerged overall number one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the team is up to the task. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very skilled players.
Yes, and what are the opportunities that lie in there for Tong modo players?
Yeah. Well, when you train and you can become an instructor, mm-hmm. you can get like him. He trains some schools, mm-hmm. so still is a way of earning. Yeah. And also there are some awards at some point the government gives us. Yeah.
Coach, apart from the awards and becoming a coach in schools, what would you add on the opportunities that await Tong modo players, especially those who are still active?
Okay, Tong modo also security-wise, we are VIP bodyguards, and that one also is a way of earning, apart from being an instructor. Another thing also we get from the art also, you become a responsible person in the community. That one also is there in the Tong modo. You become somebody who is very reliable, who can people at least say so and so is a good person within the community, and all those are the aspects or the benefits of the Tong modo. Yes.
Now, is the school the only recruit? The schools could be the best places to recruit players or get the younger players into the sport, right? But where else do you recruit the players? How else do you recruit the players?
In the community. We also have the community clubs. As like me, I've been in Dandora. So we have Dandora, that's a community club.
Yes.
We have also Kayole, that's a community club. We have Kangemi. So apart from schools and colleges, because also we train colleges and schools, we also have the community clubs. And also that's also where also we get the students who can also join the national team. So we don't basically rely on schools and colleges. We also go down to the community, also get the students from the community level.
Yes, and maybe people were asking where are these clubs apart from Nairobi Central Tong modo? Maybe you can talk about where you are found and how people can, those who are watching and those who want to join.
Okay, we as Nairobi Central Tong modo, we are based at Nairobi Central YMCA. That's one. We have also another club in Dandora, that's community club. We have another club also in Kayole. We have Best Kickers, also another strong club also based in Karen, Rongai. So we are all over Nairobi.
Yes, and maybe as a sport that's played in Africa, what are some of the challenges that the sport has encounters, and how have the Kenyan players and you as well been able to take them on?
We have the challenges of the equipment. Martial arts is, we need to have some equipment. That's a very big challenge for us. We need to have a punching bag. We need to have the mats. We need to add the pads. And we also need to have the proper dobok. We call them their uniforms in another term. So those are the challenges we are facing. Another thing also financially, especially the community club. Maybe you have been invited for a tournament somewhere, they don't have money. So financially also you have been a challenge. But we normally come together as a team. We race. I can raise 10, the other one raise 5, and then we just raise the funds. So those are the challenges we are facing the clubs. Yes.
Wallace, has the challenges bogged down the players? Has it?
I believe motivation comes from within. So when you are focused on the big picture, the challenges don't weigh us down. So we always fight and believe we always come out victorious.
Yes.
Regardless of the challenges. Yes.
And now maybe looking at the upcoming regional events, right, before the international championship that's in Mombasa. What are you working on right now? What are the key aspects of your training that you're concentrating on?
Well, during the previous tournament, we noticed the few weaknesses here and there that the team had, and actually that is what we are working on. And we know we'll emerge victorious again, even in the regional tournament that is coming up on 25th of next month. We are working on the few weaknesses that we noticed.
And maybe you can speak about the rest of the squad that you also you trading. That's the Nairobi Central Club. How prepared are they for this championship? And maybe Willis will also add, how many players do you think will make it to the Mombasa Open?
Well, I believe like almost all our members will be part of the national team because we've been there, we've seen that, and we want to make sure that all of them, almost all of them, will be part of that team. Yeah.
Yes, Coach. When you make this, when the whole club, the whole team are a good number,
Yes.
a bigger percentage of players make it to the national team. What does it say about the type of players that you have, and also the ambition of the club?
Well, our ambition is to be at the national team and also to make it outside the country also. And currently with the team I have 12 strong senior team boys, which I'm very sure most likely they'll make it to the national team. I have 4 good ladies strong. I also have the junior team, even the lady, the small girl I had. We went with her last year in Mombasa International Tournament and she won a gold medal. So at early as that age, at around 9 years, she won a gold medal. I'm very sure of the senior team, they are going to make it, and I don't have doubt with my students. I have confidence with them, and with the training we are doing with them, I know they are going to make it. And maybe in future, to be representing country outside the country, not necessarily in Mombasa. Yes.
Yeah. What other championships lie out there for Kenyan players?
We normally have a Korean tournament, which happens in September. We also have a Thailand tournament in August. So apart from being Kenya, the Kenya Open that happens in Mombasa, we also have international tournament outside the country. So unfortunately from 2019, since Corona, we have not gone to any international tournament outside the country because of Corona. Since then we have not. And so we are hoping, hopefully next year, team will maybe go to Korea for an international tournament, Thailand, Philippines. So hopefully next year. This year we are just now concentrating on the Mombasa International Tournament. Yes.
Yes, and Wallace is Mombasa International Tournament. That's like the only tournament that's available to Kenyan players, you know, of Kenyan, an international tournament of you know, good standing or repute internationally. But is that enough for the local players, Kenyan players, to sharpen their skills and measure themselves with the rest of the world?
Well, yeah, it's a very good opportunity. So before even heading out of the country, you can gauge yourself over there. And I always believe it's a good platform to see the level you are at. So when you're going out, you go out with a lot of confidence, knowing that the same players that you are competing against are the same players that you meet when you go to Korea or to Paraguay or to Thailand. Yes.
Yes, and Willis, do you think that the sport has struggled to gain popularity in the country?
So far, we have not struggled. We have been champion for international tournament for the last 9 years. So far, we have not struggled as such. We have the popularity, we have the number, we have the students, we have the players all over the country. So Tong modo is all over the country. We have not struggled as such. Yes.
And I mean, now next frontier, where should the recruitment be done? How do you predict the progression of the sport, the growth of the game?
The growth of the game basically should start from schools, especially the lower primary. Even start with the lower, we go to the high schools, we go to the colleges. Thus, we ought to start with the lower, with the children. That's the future of the game. Because the players we have at the moment, like the captain Teddy, those are seniors. And their days are coming. They'll no longer be players. They'll be instructors, they'll be coaches somewhere. So the focus now should basically focus on the children, especially on the primary school, high schools, and maybe in the colleges. But much should be on the primary schools. Yes.
Yes. And maybe now Teddy Owino could tell us about the basic skills, you know. Coach Willis talked about lock, and what else?
Yes, we have the locks, we have the grabs. Yes, we have the locks on the ground. And we have the takedowns. So those ones we are doing. Yes.
So Teddy, what would be the most valuable skill or the most potent quality or skill that a player should possess especially when you want to win the game? Yes, I was just asking, as you taking the group through the paces there, what's the most skill that the player must possess to win a match or win a game?
Okay, I think it's the heart. You have to have heart. Yeah. You cannot get involved in this sport without the heart. So you have to have heart. It's all about the heart. Doesn't really matter your physique. Doesn't really matter how unfit you are. Doesn't really matter how fit you are. You have to have the heart. Yes.
Yes, and maybe in the team you can Matthias, David, Boniface, and Stella. We've seen Bessie and what he can do. Maybe you can talk about the titles and how much effort they've put in the sport to be where they are, and how they are determined to achieve their goals in this particular game.
Okay, great. Now in Tong modo, actually, I think in most of the martial arts that we practice today, we are usually graded using belts. So usually when you're a beginner, we only have two beginners. There's a white belt. That is someone who's never trained before. He's just joined. So he's issued a white belt. And then now there's now a new beginner now, the black belt, beginning a different journey. So once you get to black, that's when now you are a real beginner. So we have two beginners. So then after white belt now, you're gauged after you've trained for a while, and then you're given the next belt, which is a yellow belt. So in total, I think we have about 8 belts. In between, you have the stripes. So it's about your dedication, your commitment, your endurance and perseverance. But basically, we gauge using the belts. Yeah.
And definitely, when you say that, means that Bessie has a long way to go?
Not necessarily. It's how hard she practices. Train hard. She trains hard every day. So you don't be surprised if you find a kid, actually, maybe the age of Becky, almost getting to black belt. It's how hard you've trained. It's what you've earned, what you've deserved. Yeah, so you don't really have to be old to be a black belt.
Yes, and how about Stella? Maybe you can talk about Stella's performances in the Mombasa International Open last year, and how that's carrying her forward, how that's motivating her ahead of the remaining events this season.
Okay, great. Stella has been involved in now 2 international events in Mombasa, 3 international events in Mombasa, and all the 3 she came back with medals. Actually, she's been training hard, and if you ask her from the time she began training to where she is now, she's a very different person. Actually, Stella has a story to tell, because Stella came in, she was very heavy. So she's worked hard, she's gone through that. And then the tournaments actually give you that confidence in yourself. You cannot train to defend yourself and you're not confident about yourself. So it's given a lot of confidence. And actually, it's martial arts will just shape almost everything in your life. Martial arts is just amazing.
And maybe what's the advantage of a player internalizing the philosophical beliefs of these martial arts, and how it helps him become a better player?
We don't gauge martial arts with playing. Martial arts is a way of life. If you view most of these martial arts, you'll realize that it just helps you have a better life. So mostly, you find it's a way of life. It's something you do on a regular basis. If you stop doing it in a month's time, you won't be that fit again. So it's something you have to do on a daily basis. You internalize with it because it's part of your life. You cannot do without it. Once you begin doing it, you cannot do without it. Yeah.
So what should we expect? I understand that there are a couple of 2 or 3 regional events before the Mombasa Open. What are your expectations for the Nairobi Central Tong modo club?
Okay, first of all, I know we are going to learn a lot. Secondly, it's going to build our confidence. We're going to make friends. It's still a social thing. And most definitely, we are coming back with the golds.
I mean, what gives you the confidence to say you're going to come back with medals?
We've worked hard. That's for sure. We've worked hard. So we're confident about ourselves.
Yeah, and Willis, in terms of when hard work is not giving you results?
No, as he said, it's not a matter of hard work. It comes from the internal part of it. You must be spiritually strong. You must believe on yourself. So if they are spiritually strong, definitely mentally they'll be okay. Physically they'll be okay. So we have also to work on the mental, the spiritual part of it, so that they can go together hand in hand with the physical part of it. So once they have that confidence, they have trained, they have the skills, spiritually, mentally, physically, they'll be just okay. So we are also working both mentally and the physical part of it. So you have to dwell on the two. They go hand in hand. Once you are physically strong and mentally you are weak, definitely you can't win the gold. You can't even go far. So we work on both. They go hand in hand. So that's what basically we are working on. Sometimes we don't even train. We just talk. We just dwell on the mental part of it. We are not doing the physical part of it. We are not doing the basics, that's the punches, the kicks. We don't do. We just sit, we talk. So we built the spiritual part of it. Not always we just kick, punch, run, jog. No. Sometimes just talk. The mental, we built on the mental part of it. So that's very important. That's very, very crucial in the martial arts. Yes.
And it does build one, give one that mental edge, knowing that you can still do well.
Yes, we work on that. Yes, we encourage them.
Yeah, Wallace, you transitioned into coaching while still a player. How did that come about?
Well, it's a journey. And like our captain there, so maybe in the next couple of, after training for a while now, he'll be an assistant coach, and already he's practicing that.
That's steady.
Yes.
Yes.
And like our instructor is saying, we have some rules that guides us. And one of those rules, number 4, is we always pledge to achieve unity between mind and body. So when you have that, the transition becomes very easy. Yeah, from being a player to now being an assistant coach or being the instructor. Yeah.
How hard is it for one to build the unity, the semblance of the mind and the body?
Well, we start from the desire. If you have that passion within you, then everything becomes very easy. Yeah.
Has that played a role in your career so far?
Well, I can say the person I was before I started training a couple of years ago, and the person I am today, I can confidently say that I have changed for the better. Yes.
What kind of person were you? Maybe you can, if you don't mind. Yes.
Well, I was a bit quiet. Maybe I couldn't even speak in front of people. But today, I'm a different person. I train people. I speak in front of people. The confidence level is up there now. Yeah, but I know I still have a lot to learn. Yes.
Willis, I think you did a great job on Wallace, right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. He has been my student for long, so we have stayed with him for long. He has been learning some things from me. So I've been training him, I've been teaching him. So I want him to take over. In the near future, I should be just sitting and watching and him training. Maybe say Teddy will be assistant. That's my prayer. And also I hope he'll be a good instructor and follow my footsteps. He'll be a good instructor. Yes, and he'll produce the best. Yes.
I tell you, maybe you could be your last words before we just wind up with this particular interview. You could talk about the forthcoming championship that's in Mombasa and your expectations about the same. You can talk about your expectations, what you believe that the team will achieve in Mombasa, and how the result will be crucial to you and to the club as well.
Okay, I believe we are going there to win. And in any tournament that we hold, I believe there's no loser, there's no winner. There's no permanent winner, there's no permanent loser. And you actually don't lose, because if you're won in the ring, then it's something you've learned in the ring. So we either go there to win or to learn. But I believe because we've worked really, really hard, we're going to deserve that win, and we are going to win. And winning always boosts morale. Yeah, so if you used to win, your morale will always be up.
Yes, and that's Coach Teddy Owino, the captain for the Nairobi Central Tong modo club. And so, Wallace, your thoughts about the forthcoming championship and the 2 remaining events as we wind up?
We know we'll emerge victorious. We've prepared both physically and psychologically. We believe we will come out victorious. Yes.
Yes, Ogalo, how would this edition be important to you and to the club?
It will be very important, very, very important to my club than maybe other years, because most of my players, they were the champions last year in Mombasa International Tournament. And even in Nairobi region, last event we were the champion. So they are going to defend their title, especially the gold medal. They are going to defend their medal. So we have prepared them, both psychologically and physically. And we have confidence they are going to come up victorious, like what they did. They are going to defend their champion, because most of them, they won gold medal. So they are going to defend it, and we are prepared for that. Yes.
Okay, maybe before the Mombasa International event, what other 2 events are remaining before the ones that will be used to select the team?
Oh, currently we have the Nairobi. That's the Nairobi Open, will be on 25th of November. That's will be the last selection. And also as a club level, we normally have the internal selection. Yes. So we don't just wait for the Nairobi region, we have the internal one. So where we are training at Nairobi Central YMCA, we normally have an internal, we have the sparring, we have a group Team A and Team B sparring against each other, and also we do the selection. So from that level up to the regional and then to the national, then we have the strong team. Okay. So we have the internal also within the club level.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Willis Ogaro, the instructor from Nairobi Central Tong modo club, as well as the assistant coach from the same club, Wallace Mbadi. Also had the captain for the club, Teddy Owino, and of course team members who were demonstrating there on the other side of the studio. That's Matthias Baraka, David Juma, Boniface Mwaniki, Stella Auchant, and the youngster, Bessie Buto. Thank you so much, the Tong modo Nairobi Central, for gracing Sports Check this lovely morning, and we wish you all the best in your remaining events before the year folds.